usual ways. Sticking with health now, being told you have a cancer diagnosis can be earth-shattering, which is exactly what happened to Peter McLeave, a dad of two who was diagnosed with incurable myeloma at the age of just 39.
He is desperately trying to get a stem cell donation that could save his life. Dr. Ranj finds out how signing up for the Global Register could give hope to people like Peter.
Blood cancers such as leukemia and lymphoma are the UK's third biggest cancer killers, and there are around 250,000 people living with them in the UK today. A potential treatment for blood cancer is a stem cell transplant, where defective blood cells are essentially replaced with healthy ones taken from a donor's blood or bone marrow. But to be able to do that, you need to be the right match.
Ready? Ready? Oh, I saved it! Oh!
Dad! Dad, the goal's there, not over there.
45-year-old Peter McLeave was diagnosed with myeloma in 2017 and was told that without a stem cell transplant, he would only have around 7 years to live. 6 years on, he still hasn't been able to find a match. What treatments have you had so far?
So within 2 to 3 weeks, I was on the first set of chemotherapy. That didn't really work the way they were expecting, so straight away they put me onto a second line of chemotherapy, and that had a limited impact, but it got me into a stage where I was able to be put forward for what's called an autologous stem cell transplant, where they use my stem cells to try and not cure it, but put me in a state of remission.
Partial remission is progress, but without a full stem cell transplant, his diagnosis is still terminal, and finding a donor is proving tricky.
So although I look white European, my family hail from Southeast Asia. So my grandmother was what's called Macanese, so she's a mixture of Chinese and Portuguese.
Yeah.
My dad, his dad was Irish. And at the moment, if you are a couple of generations white European, you've got about a 70% chance of finding your match today. If you're from a mixed race or minority ethnic heritage, it plummets to about 30%.
Thankfully, there is a worldwide register of people willing to donate stem cells run by the charity DKMS. No matter how or where you sign up, you can be matched with anyone on the planet that needs you. But currently, no one on the database matches Peter. So in 2018, he started the 10,000 Donors campaign to encourage more people to sign up and increase the odds of finding a match.
We smashed through that within 5 months. Fast forward to where we are today, we've got over 106,000 people registered, and we've had over 20 confirmed matches, so it does work.
No match for Peter yet, but still over 20 lives potentially saved. Registration involves taking a mouth swab, and if you do match, in 90% of cases, your stem cells can be harvested from your blood, so no need for any needles into bones.
My message to everybody is, if you can, please register. Particularly, we need more people of mixed race and minority ethnic heritages from all backgrounds to change this, and it's so simple to do.
With 8 billion people on Earth, this global register could mean that there's a potential match for everyone. 11-year-old James Bendel from Nebraska found his match in a police officer from Yorkshire in the UK after being diagnosed with lymphoma in 2018. Karen is his mother.
There were some really rough moments of him being very sick, but we tried really hard not to focus on the negative and the worst case scenario, which was before, when your child is that ill, it's before you each and every day, and it's hard not to think about that, but we really tried not to think about that.
Fortunately, by early 2019, a match was found for James back here in the UK. Police Constable Luke Bugdell from Doncaster was the willing donor.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter who you're helping as long as you're helping someone. And if you can give your stem cells and actually save somebody, then why not?
Luke's stem cells were transplanted into James and resulted in his cancer quickly going into remission.
Today, James is a very healthy, vibrant, young little boy who only has to go to the doctor once a year for a checkup.
The register is anonymous, but patients can contact their donors after 2 years if they want. James did that with Luke. and the two met in person for the first time at a gala here in England in May of this year.
He's gone through so much, and he's come out the other side.
And they are catching up again, this time online, and have kindly let me join the conversation. Karen, how does it feel now that you know the person that essentially saved James's life?
It's hard to put into words because I'm just so grateful for Luke. I feel that thank you is completely inadequate.
James, what would you like to say to Luke?
Thank you, Luke, my hero.
Definitely, I think that title is completely appropriate.
I think it's the other way around. Because all I did was I went in and they took stem cells out and they sent them off. James did the hard work, you know. At the end of the day, that's what it's about, is making him healthy.
James's case shows that this register works, but Peter and many others are still waiting for a match. So in 2019, Peter's son Max decided to take matters into his own hands and launched an appeal to save his father's life in the form of an open letter to the world, which was featured on BBC Breakfast.
If my dad doesn't find a stem cell match, he will only have 7 more years with me, and I want lots more.
Max's appeal led to 6,000 new donors registering within 24 hours of him publishing the letter.
What did you feel like when Max wrote that letter?
I felt a mixture of pride that he'd even thought about doing it, but also I was quite sad as well. The fact that you felt you had to be asking people to help me was a wonderful thing to do, and I was very proud of you.
For Peter and thousands of others looking for a stem cell match across the world, there is a chance for their lives to be saved, but that window of opportunity won't last forever. So if you're thinking of becoming a donor, it's worth remembering that by just giving a little bit of your time, you could be giving so much more time to someone else.
Absolutely. Some real heroes in that film, wasn't there?
Yeah, we'll be keeping up to date, keep checking in with Peter, and we'll let you know how he's getting on.